Shalom, Akim. I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rahak, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well, and salutations to all the Akim and all four corners of earth who's pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom, Akim. I want to get into this little thing I seen. I was on YouTube as usual, just going over some little videos, and I stumbled upon this one. It was talking about Seattle is getting ready to declare a state of emergency. It says Seattle socialist mayor eyes state of emergency for LGBTQ plus refugees before Pride Month, as the city sits on a $175 million deficit. What's up with this $175 million? Didn't Floyd Mayweather getting sued or suing for that amount too? But anywho, so they said they got a deficit. If you know anything about Seattle, Seattle had riots going on. About a decade ago, they had the what convention was there? Was it the G8 convention, or it was one of these World Summit conventions was in Seattle, and the people in Seattle cut up. They cut up real bad. They cut up so bad the CDC was like, the leaders of that met down there. They said, "Look, man, whatever y'all gotta do, this is a black eye on us, America. You gotta fix this, and we don't like this. You made us look like fools." So what the president at the time did, he put out what did he do? He defunded them somehow. He put away their money somehow. And Seattle's been in a midst of just dope heads fleeing there and stuff like that, especially rebellious people. They also around the same time, a little bit after that, they went to war with the police. You remember around the George Floyd stuff? Around that time, they were heavy into funding the police, and they set up these bum camps in the center of downtown to just tear up everything, just anarchy, and in the midst of that, you had bums with AK-47s and stuff, man. They was having shootouts. You had all sorts of just madness going on in Seattle, man. And I did a video on Portland, but Seattle and Portland are neck and neck. Those are those weird corners of that area, and they say in that little area over there, that's where all the serial killers. Esau boasts about serial killers and how many he comes from that area over that way. Another little side note. But anyways, it says, why so many LGBTQ plus Texans moved to Seattle may be an emergency. And that's another thing too. They say that all the weirdos in the States are fleeing to Seattle now. So Seattle is the new San Francisco. Seattle is the new Atlanta. A joke we used to say back in the day, only thing down in Texas is steers and queers. Like the queers are moving out of Texas. And I used to always think that Texas was one of those states that didn't play that stuff. But, the more and more as time goes on, I just think they didn't play that with Jake. Because, they have Sundown Town still parading about those in Texas. Ishmael then came through and took over Texas. And now the punks, I've been hearing about the punks. We had jokes about that. And now the punks are leaving there. So it was a large influx of punks evidently coming out of that area. But this is all the things that are going on in the world. I mean, not even the world, just in the States alone, when your education is failing you, your infrastructure is falling apart. Seattle's one of them spots where the infrastructure is over with because the jobs have left. They showed Marshalls and TJ Maxx, one of those stores. They just going in there and getting whatever they want, stealing whatever they want, whenever they want, and then they don't get prosecuted. And the police, they got so much work to do that they don't have time for that stuff, man. But let me bring some verses out. This is Proverbs 8:12. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions, man. And what is one of those inventions? Is LGBTQ plus stuff that they're pushing on the people. This is a distraction. This is a This is a device to keep the people, arguing over those type of things. When the Lord has made a man and a woman, but in Esau society, He gives you a whole chart of different things that you can be. So that's full of confusion, and that's those witty inventions, man. coming up with deceitful things, man. Uh, Pro, uh, Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. You know, so the Lord is against these places, man. You know, anything that's all for theirself and all coming from the, your wicked heart, the Lord is against that type of stuff, man. You know, and Seattle, like I say, it's I watch the news periodically, and I always watch on those bums down there as much as I could take of it, because it's kind of sick. Because those people in Seattle like are on their own. They're in their own planet, man. They'll have. I did a video a week or two ago about the paraplegics in wheelchairs, transvestite. That's the type of place that Seattle has, those type of things. When I see images of Seattle, I see a bunch of grown men with them pink hairs, wearing dress, with full beards on, man. That's basically your image. It's a super weird space, But yeah, the Lord is against these places, man. Against them, and they have pride and arrogancy in their heart, man. And these people, they think that this stuff is gonna last, man. This is the last hoorah for this place, man. This is the last hoorah for the wickedness that you're doing, man. And at the end of the day, you have for a short time, man. Let me bring this up, cause you got Israelites over there too, man, in Seattle. I've seen the pictures of them, and they cutting up, man. Because once again, this is a place where it's a beacon space. They've allowed all the weirdos to come here and you congregate here. We got rights for you here. We have different venues for you to live in, different areas for you to live in. You can coexist amongst your own people. Your own brand of weirdos. This is Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Lord in the land, man. So this place says it has no knowledge of the Lord, man, nor do they care to know the Lord. So you Israelites that are over there, don't get stuck in that debauchery that's going on over there, man. Even though that's the reason you're over there, because you could do that free will, do as thy will comes over from over that way for the most part, man. Especially now in these times, man, and they're advertising it, man. And we know that they'll get that 175 million covered somehow, some way. He got politicians, and they got tons of politicians, because that was another thing too that made me just realize something when I was doing when I was watching the video, that one of the guys who's fighting who's going to Congress to get this money, he was a member of the Air Force that was a man in Texas. And he converted to a woman, and man, he looked crazy as hell. But they were interviewing him, and yeah, man, it's just wickedness, man. Yeah, we in these last days, man, and scripture's letting us know that, man. And like I said, them bums were down there fighting and stuff. You got different bum wars going on down there. Not to add on to these LGBTQ plus against the trannies, that's another thing too, man. A lot of these different groups, they don't even really get along with each other. They just deal with each other, but at the same time, they really don't get along with each other. Gays do not get along with trannies. Come to find out, man, they don't like that. When a year or two ago, I was watching one of these interviews, and they was interviewing one of these punks at the Pride Parade here in Chicago, and the punk was like, man, yeah, I don't like these guys dressing up half naked with these thongs on, parading around these kids. That's not cool. And yes, I am gay, and this is my gay boyfriend right here, but we don't do none of that stuff, so we don't condone none of that stuff. So it's a fight in their own house going on, man. But yeah, they're violent, man. Don't get it twisted. They're also some violent people. That's another thing too. A lot of domestic street violence is off the charts in those women on women and men on men type of situations, man. Matthew 24:12, and because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, man. And these are some lawless people, man. They believe in their own heart, and that's their law. So they're basically lawless. They're going against everything that's the Lord has put it for law. They're going against it. They're fighting against it. They're going against it, man. And in this place, they have rights to do that, man. They have rights, and they get rewarded. You see, he's fighting for 175 million to come help them. This is Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hand until a time, and the times, and the dividing of time, man. Yeah, so these devils out here changing laws, man, and at the same time, man, they're making up their own laws. So yes, it's making us mad. This is upsetting us. This is why we need the Lord to come back, man. Because we're going to need help in this battle, man. We're going to need help in this battle, Because we're not going to be able to fight Esau, these robots and these different types of diseases he has out here and these different things, man. This is a mad scientist we got going out here. You see, he's raising up money just so he can allow his own weirdos to parade around more and more, But yeah, man, I want to say, I don't know, I haven't been to every city in America, but I know a lot of the majority of the major cities in America, you have your side of town where those weirdos are at, and we're coming into that month. It's coming up soon, and the president already said that he really wants to ban it. I don't know if he said it or the Congress. They're pushing on trying to just go ahead and get rid of that month and call it like a soldier's month or something to that effect, But yeah, man, we're coming around to that time, man, where we're just pointing out the wickedness when we see it, man. With that being said, I was edifying. Shalom, Maki.